Sheetal sir, I will call upon you to please hand over the mementos. I will request Juneja sir to please our guests, distinguished guests with shawl. With this, thanks a lot, sirs, for taking out your precious time and making it to this noble cause. I'd hand over the session to Navneet, please.
So now may I request Bade sir to kindly say a few words of honor for our eminent guest. What is
Good afternoon, everybody. The wonderful occasion, number one, the top eminent dignitaries assembled in our office for a noble cause. I welcome you, sir. Not only in India, world over, people know you, patients know you, and you have assembled here again for the cause for the poor, those who cannot afford such kind of problems to solve. Today is a day when we can pledge. We are 20,000 people working in organization. I can assure you, sir, on behalf of all my people, that will leave no stone unturned to do the needful. That's our duty as well. As we are very active in blood donations camps like that, I'll also always pursue you. Every month you will get a notice from my side, reminder from my side that let us donate our organs, saving many lives. One gentleman, 1% this donates its organs, his organs or his organs, saves 8 lives. भारत में थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम ये है कि रिलीजन के पॉइंट ऑफ कभी कुछ लोग ये मिथ्स हैं कि सब बॉडी डोनेट नहीं करनी चाहिए, कुछ मोक्ष प्राप्त नहीं होता, लेकिन अब लोगों में अवेयरनेस आनी शुरू हो गई है. अब अंगदान को महादानी माना जाता है, उन्होंने भी चाहिए. मरना तो सब नहीं है, nobody is immortal, sir. But I believe if your deeds are immortal, you're always immortal. So मैं सबसे रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, ऑनलाइन भी सब जा रहे हैं, मेरा मैसेज जा रहा है, जितने भी हमारे स्टाफ हैं, हम आज आप जो प्रोमिनेंट गैदरिंग हमारे सामने बैठे हैं, डिग्निटीज बैठे हैं, उनको एश्योरेंस देता हूं आपके बिहाफ पर दैट हम सब करेंगे, वो करेंगे, मेहनत करेंगे और आपको इस काम में इसमें सहयोग पूरा करेंगे. थैंक यू वेरी मच सर.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words of encouragement. Now may I request Sheetal sir to please say a few words.
Dear Mancanians, those who are present here and those who are listening us on their iPads or on the screens, and to our esteemed guests, Dr. Subhash Gupta, Dr. Sandeep Guleria, Dr. Manish Jain, Dr. Shani Suman Pradhan. It is with great honor and immense pleasure that we extend a warm welcome to all of you, each one of you. We are truly privileged to have you here. And today we have gathered here for a very significant cause, that is organ donation. Today in the morning, someone was telling me that in India, more than 1 lakh people die due to organ failure. And to my surprise, there are only 200 people who receive organ for transplant. It's the biggest surprise for me in the morning that despite of having such a big population of the country, second most populated country in the world, the population of organ donor is very minuscule. Maybe because of, like Junaid Saab has told you, unawareness, or maybe because of some religious myth, or maybe because see the gap of rich and poor, people will say feel ट्रस्ट नहीं है, मुझे क्या मिलेगा अगर मैं ऑर्गन दे दूँगा तो मुझे क्या मिलेगा? लेकिन आई कैन टेल यू देयर आर मोर देन 22 मेजर रिलिजन्स इन द वर्ल्ड एंड नन ऑफ देम डिस्करेज टू नॉट टू डोनेट ऑर्गन। सो और जैसे आपको बताया गया सबसे बड़ा दान जो होता है वो ऑर्गन डोनेशन का ही दान होता है। एंड मैनकाइंड का मोटो हमेशा से रहा है, मैनकाइंड मोटो इज़ टू सर्व लाइफ। लेकिन मैनकाइंड से भी बड़ा कोई मोटो है to giving the gift of life. And by donating an organ, we can give a gift to life, gift of life to any person. And this is the power for an organ donor that you can turn a death into your life. So ये इतनी बड़ी पावर मेरे ख्याल से भगवान ने हम इंसानों को ही दी है कि मरते हुए आदमी को जिंदा कर देंगे हम अगर ऑर्गन देते हैं। एंड इन दिस ऑर्गन डोनेशन इज अ चांस टू बी अ हीरो इवन आफ्टर आवर डेथ। मरने के बाद भी हम हीरो बन सकते हैं। और आज मैं इस स्टेज से अभी प्लेज लेता हूं कि आई विल बी एन ऑर्गन डोनर, फर्स्ट ऑर्गन डोनर इन मैनकाइंड, एंड आई एंड लेट अस प्लेज my request to each one of us, those who are listening this program, those who are all are mankind in their family, their friends, that let us pledge to donate organs and save lives and become a hero even after our death. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words of encouragement. We embark this program to the auspicious lamp lighting ceremony to dispel all ignorance and enlighten our souls. So we cordially invite upon our guest, Dr. Subhash Gupta, Dr. Sandeep Guleria, Dr. Manish Jain, Dr. Shaini Suman Pradhan, Bade sir and Sheetal sir to please come for the lamp lighting ceremony. Sanjay Kaul sir, kindly come over for the lamp lighting. Chitranjan sir, if you want to join them, please.
वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा।
Now it's time to cordially invite Dr. Sandeep Guleria sir to share his thoughts on the relevance of organ donation, its myths and facts. Over to you, sir. This is the changes for the slide.
So I had my own slides. That's all right.
You will change.
No problem. Well, at the outset, I'd like to congratulate all of you. I'd like to congratulate Mr. Juneja and I think his tremendous leadership for this great event. I think there is no doubt that nothing in life can be bigger than taking a step towards organ donation. And for most of us who spend our lives in and out with organs, we understand what a change we bring to people's life by transplanting organs. So I think this is indeed the greatest gift that one can ever give, the gift of life. I am, over the next 5 minutes, going to take you briefly through some myths and facts about organ donation. And of course, I think it's important to understand that this is important for everybody who wants to be or will be a potential donor. The first thing is that most people think when they come to a hospital, if they agree to donate organs, they will not be looked after well by the staff. And I think it's important to understand that when you come to a hospital with an injury or with some calamity, the team that looks after you is not the same that looks after organ transplantation. So the team that looks after you will work day in and day out to try to save your life, because that's our business, right? We're in the business of saving lives. So they will do everything to save you. However, should you not improve, and should you unfortunately progress to what is called as brain death, at that time the team will do tests to determine whether you are brain dead or not. And if the tests are positive, and these tests tell us whether your brain is functioning or not, and we do know if your brain is not functioning, that it's just a question of time before which you will die. However, that time gives us a small window where blood is going through your body and your organs can be harvested for transplantation. So if those tests are done, you are found to be brain dead, it is only then that the organ transplant team gets involved in organ transplant. So there are two different teams. If you donate your organs, agree to donate, it usually happens once you have brain dead and you are not salvageable. Is brain death and coma the same? No. Brain death means it's just a question of time before you will die. And we do tests to to determine that you're brain dead. And these tests are, for example, if you if you tickle somebody's throat, he will cough. If I disconnect the oxygen, you will not gasp. Your eyelids, you will not move if I tickle your cornea. So there's a variety of tests that we do to make sure your brain is not functioning. For example, if you ever go to a butcher's shop, you will see he will cut the hen of the head of the chicken off, and the chicken will keep running for some time. So brain death is something like having your head cut off, and for some time you will be alive, but just a question of time before you will die. Coma is a totally different thing. Coma is a medical emergency. You could be in coma because of diabetes, because of a bleed in your head, because of a stroke, because of an infarct. So brain death and coma are not the same. They're totally different. Is there an age limit to donate your organs? No, we recently took organs from an 86-year-old. Basically, it is the quality of your body and the quality of your organs which determine whether you're fit to donate organs or not. So if you are fit, and even if you're very old, your eyes can always be used. Kidneys, if you're not diabetic, are good size, have a normal kidney function test, can be used. The liver can be cut into pieces and used for a child. So there is no upper age limit as such. However, we will do tests to make sure you are fit to donate an organ or not. And based on those tests only, can we proceed. So there's no upper age limit. Is your family going to be charged should you ask to donate your organs? Well, that doesn't happen. Once you say that I want to be an organ donor and you agree, the billing stops there. No hospital can charge you once you say that I am no longer, I want to be an organ, but unfortunately, my relative is brain dead and we'd like to donate his organ. Your billing stops right there. It doesn't proceed after that, even in the private hospital. Most private hospitals, and I can say that for the Apollo Group, will even waive off a substantial amount of money to make sure, because the organ donation, we do understand, is an extremely traumatic process for the family. We want to expedite the process. We want to make sure that it happens fast. And I don't think money should in any way come into this great deed that you've agreed for your relative to donate an organ. So you don't need to pay. You may need to clear some past bills. Even that may be waived off if you agree to be an organ donor. And if you agree to be an organ donor, you're welcome to change your mind. You can say no today and yes tomorrow. what's important is that we always tell people is talk it over. So your family must know your wishes. That if ever you're in unfortunate circumstances, that you have a road traffic accident, you come to a hospital, you're brain dead, and your family is asked this terrible question that would you like to donate his organs? You must have talked to your family at least and told them, look, if I'm ever brain dead, I would like to donate my organs. Because the ultimate decision to donate lies with the people who are legally responsible or legal owners of your body, and that's your family. And your family will have to give consent for you to be a donor. You're free to change your mind. You can go on the register. You can take your name off. It doesn't matter. You can change your mind as many times as you want to, but it's very rare for people to change their minds. Most of the time, if you decide to be an organ donor, you stay on the list because there are really no reasons to do so. And if you have reasons, you must discuss them with us, and I'm happy to clear any doubts. We did talk about religion. I think it's important to remember, and I can give you a talk on this. We've looked at all religions very closely. And there is no religion in the world that says that organ donation should not happen, whether it's Hinduism, Sikhism, Christianity, Jain, even Muslims. All religions support organ donation. Remember, in fact, the Gita says that if you look at the Lord Ganesh, it's the head of an elephant on a human being. This is the first xenotransplant in the world that has happened, and all religions will support organ transplantation. So, being an organ donor, you make a huge difference to a number of people. You improve the quality of life of lots of people. And if you think there's nothing in it for you when your family, when you're for the family that agrees to donate organs, there is something for them. Most people think it's the best thing they ever did in their lives if they agreed to either donate their organs like part of their kidney or part of their liver, or they agreed for a brain dead donor to be an organ donor, the best thing they ever did in their lives. They help people live and brought about a huge difference in the quality of life of at least 8 people. I think it really is the gift of life. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, sir, for clarifying our doubts and myths. Donate your organs to give someone another chance to live life. Donate an organ to bring hope, happiness, and smiles to many families. Many eminent personalities have already pledged to donate their organs. Just to name a few, our Power Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal, along with his family, has pledged to donate organs. Cricketers like Kapil Dev, Bishan Singh Bedi, Navjot Singh Sidhu, actors like Priyanka Chopra, Amir Khan, Kiran Rao too have pledged to donate their organs. Amitabh Bachchan, Aishwarya Rai, Rani Mukherjee, and many others have pledged to donate their eyes. In fact, you'll be glad to know that our MD, Sir, even Rajiv Juneja, Sir, has also pledged last year to donate. So let's, I think, continue this, and we all should pledge our organs. And again, I think this is just a reminder for everybody that our 21,000 employees have connected. So we could know this number, through the live feed that we are getting. So I think, again, a round of applause deserves for this. So whatever number is sitting here is not just the strength. We have enormous people all connected virtually with us. Glad to know that. So now, may I request now it's time to comprehend the need for organ donation from our august doctor's perspective. With this, we humbly call upon Dr. Shaini Suman Pradhan to kindly share his valuable acumen on organ donation.
Good afternoon, all. Greetings from National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization. And I congratulate mankind for such a wonderful initiative they have taken for this noble cause. And now let's come to the topic. Uh, the present situation in India ranks third place in the world, only after US and China, as per the GODT website. But in year 2022, we have achieved some milestones in our country. Like we have achieved the maximum number of donors disease donors in India so far, maximum number of live transplantations, maximum number of disease donor transplantations, like that. But still, uh, a single individual, if a donor can save up to 8 lives, and if he donates the tissues also, he can improve the lives of many people. But although that, approximately 5 lakh people are waiting for organ donation, and in kidney only around 1.5 to 2 lakh people are added to the waiting list each year. Hmm. This is the graph that you can see. As the green bar is the total transplant, and the red bar is the total number of disease donor transplant. As you can see, all the other, as compared to the other countries, in India the graph is reversed like that, because the number of living transplanter in India are approximately 80 to 85%, as compared to the other countries in the world. In most of the countries, the disease donor transplants are number are more than the living donor transplants. And as per the donors per million population in India, it's less than 1%. This is the total number of transplants we have done in last year, in 2022. This is the disease number of disease donors that we have achieved the maximum number of disease donors in last year, and the graph is growing up. There was this little slight dip in the during the COVID pandemic, and after that again it's going up. This is the organ wise, and the background is around 22, sorry, around 2 lakhs people are waiting for kidney only, and actually only around 11,000 plus kidney transplants are happening every year, including living and diseased both. Like liver, also we have waiting list of around 40 to 50,000 each year. It's growing, but around 4,000 liver transplants are taking place. And in heart also, around 50,000 people are waiting, but only around 250 transplants are happening actually. Let's understand the composition of human body first. Human body is composed of cells, tissues, organs, and the smallest cell, the smallest unit of life capable of replication is cell. After that, the tissue, like uh, collection of similar type of cells which perform a same function is tissue. Then comes the organ, a group of tissues which function a similar type of function, that is organ. The complexity increases. Mhm. Then what is organ failure disease? The organ failure disease is a serious condition and which causes morbidity and mortality, and some up to some stage medical management is possible, but after one stage medical management is not possible, and the person needs transplantation, that we call the end stage organ disease. Then what is organ donation? Organ donation is the process when a person allows a healthy organ of his own to be transplanted to another person, when the person is living by his consent or by the consent of the family after the person is dead. Then organ transplantation is the process in which organs are harvested from a donor for for the purpose of transplantation into the recipient's body. Then one disease donor can save up to 8 lives. The organs are like two lungs, liver, heart, two kidneys, intestine, etc. And also, one person can donate various tissues like bones, tendons, cornea, skin, and by that doing so, he can improve the quality of life of many people. Then there are many causes of organ failure disease. This is the map of India, where you can see the southern part of the India is quite active in this transplant activity, but in few states like the green marked areas, they have not yet started transplant activities as such. But Noto is working. We are aiming to reach in all states, and last week only in Manipur they have the disease donor first disease donation. Despite the unrest going on, they did the first donation there. Yeah. This is the organizational structure. NOTO is the national organization, which, and after that, we have rotos, 5 rotos in 5 regions: south, north, east, west, and northeast. And we have state organizations in 20 states presently, and 2 more are in pipeline, and gradually will reach to other states also. NOTO is the apex organization established under Directorate General of Health Services under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. Hmm. We have 2 mandates for NOTO. One is networking, and the other one is allocation of organs. I think something. Type of organ donors. There are mainly 2 type of organ donors. One is living donor and one is disease donor. Any person who is above 18 years of age can donate his or her organs when living to his family members, near relatives, mainly father, mother, children, sibling, spouse, grandparents, and grandchildren. Then one is disease donor, can be of any age group, but it's mainly with the consent of the family. And for small, below 18 years, also minor also, organs can be donated with the consent of the family members and parents. And one more uh, exchange donor is there, that is called swap donation. If a pair of living donors are there who are not compatible, like that, agar two pair of donors and recipients are there who are not compatible to each other, they can swap. One donor can swap with the recipient of the other pair, and similarly, we can do that. So that is called swap donor. Then why do we need disease donation? Basically, the demand is too high in our country, and living donation cannot fulfill that demand. And few organs, except like liver and kidney, live donation cannot be possible. Like heart, lung, that can only be taken from disease donation. And we have a potential of very huge potential of disease donation in India. Around 1.5 lakh people die due to road traffic accident. This is the rough estimation. And in worldwide also, they say it's around 70% disease donor organ comes from road traffic accidents. In India, it's around 10%. Once we have taken out the organ, we have harvested from the donor, it needs to be transplanted as soon as possible. The sooner it get transplanted, the better as the results. And the time frame for each organ is different. Like heart and lung, it's around 4 to 6 hours. Like intestine, it's around 6 to 8 hours, sometimes 10 hours. And accordingly, the time frame varies for organ to organ, but it's better to transplant as soon as possible. Then question comes, who can be a donor? Anyone can choose to be a donor, irrespective of age, sex, religion, caste, and children are also, as I said earlier, can be a donor with the consent of their parents. Then another question comes in mind: ki, should I become a donor? By being an organ or tissue donor, you can make difference to many lives. Around 50 lives you can make difference in them. 8 lives you can save, and others by donating tissues you can change the lives of many people. And it not like one person. If you are donating an organ, any recipient, his life change definitely, and the whole family and friends surrounding him, they also, their life also change. It's very important to share your decision. If anyone wants to donate his organs, then it should be shared in the family and friends, so that in the time, unfortunately, if the time like this comes, it will be easier for them to decide whether to donate or not. And if they know that you wish to donate your organs in your life, they will definitely work for that. And time is of essence. The decision should be taken immediately. Well, it's not like that you have to think and rethink whether to donate or not. So it should be, the decision should be taken immediately. After organ retrieval, transplantation should be done at the earliest. Uh, Organs cannot be stored. It should be transplanted. It can be transported from one place to another place in a box with a preservative kept in ice, but we cannot store it. If you wish to register your wish, you can wish online, offline. So many options are there. This is our Form 7 for pledging. This is the social media campaigns are going on. We have now organ pledge campaign in MyGov platform also. Death is inevitable truth, but we can live after life also by donating our organs. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your words of wisdom. Now, may I request Dr. Subhash Gupta to please come over and share a few words.
Thank you very much. First of all, um, congratulations to Mankind Pharma for organizing such an important event on World Organ Donation Day. And I'm not going to take too much of your time, except to say that obviously organ donation can happen after brain death, but also it can happen even after cardiac arrest, something that people are not so much aware of. And the technology is there for all the organs to be used even after death, provided the death happens in the hospital. Okay. So I'll now quickly run through the slides. There's not a great deal I have to add because everything has been covered by my colleagues. Please.
Yes.
This one? Yeah. Okay. So the background, of course, is at this moment, I will also take, because Noto is here, there's some deficiencies are there in the whole transplant donation business. And I thought this may be time to kind of correct this so as to increase organ donation. So 1994 Organ Transplant Act, wonderful. And it was a landmark act which addressed illegal transplants in our country. And of course, paved the way for rapid strides in transplantation in our country. But if you look at the need, already been discussed by Dr. Shini, and the reality, we know what we've achieved so far, how many transplants we do here. So now you fast track to 2023. So that was 1994 Act. This is almost 30 years on. The diagnosis of brain death is not yet routine, unfortunately. Only designated transplant hospitals can make this diagnosis. Nowhere in the world is this is true. When patients with the current prominence with cardiopulmonary resuscitation, most patients will, I often say that natural birth and natural death has gone from the city of Delhi. They all die in a hospital. But by that time, the brain has suffered irreversible damage, and the only use that you can make of that is the organs. Now, moving ahead from this, we also need to consider, and great work needs to be done here, that we withdraw care from terminally ill patients who are not going to recover, who are dead, and this must be done in an organized manner rather than the way we do it nowadays, that we tell the family, take the patient lama, and then they stop ventilation on the way. So these things need to be corrected. I'm glad that Noto is here and they can look into it so they can give this a great push. So what do I suggest? I suggest that death must be diagnosed in every hospital. It should be dealing from transplantation. Nothing to do with transplantation brain death. It's a form of death. It's not as if it's some special death for organ donation or organ transplantation. You save resources, you free ICU beds, you maintain dignity in death, and you also follow the wishes of the deceased. Now, you must promote organ donation. Pledging, of course, is very good, and we all pledge, and we pledged every year, and then again we'll pledge some more. Altruism is excellent, but does not always work. So many years, why is the organ donation rate so dismal? And when everybody knows about organ donation, it's not as if we don't. Of course, events like this are very important, but we now need to bring about a major change. Many lives can be saved. We all need to do a little bit more. Pledge, yes, of course. Make our kins aware of our wishes. Write a will. We Indians never write a will. We're notorious for this. We cannot write a will. We think we write a will, that means we'll die tomorrow. The state must step in as well. Make care of the brain dead person free hospital charge. This is not the transplant coordinator. Not a nobody should say it. It should be there in the mind of the people. The government has said it that these people, if they donate organs, they don't have to pay. So we don't have to go up to them and say that your bills will be waived off. It seems as if there's some commercial transaction going on there. Recognize the need of the next of kin. If the person is going to donate, there has to be some motivation for him. Why can we not have a health card for him in the hospital where donation has happened? So we really need to do these things extra. Now, extras can be done. Every cadaveric donation is covered in the media. We debunk myths related to transplant, and my friend and Dr. Glare has done this very nicely. It's not a costly treatment. Care of an end-stage liver patient or one on dialysis over there is much more than the cost of kidney transplantation, liver transplant. And money you can raise by government, society, and crowdfunding. And you'll be surprised to know that every transplant recipient in Tamil Nadu is entitled to total reimbursement from the government. Make rejection drugs free, which perhaps man can find out may not like it, but that's probably the. It has to be done through a government state organization. So, what do I recommend? I recommend that government hospitals must do transplantation. Till that is not done and it remains in the activity of the private hospital, then it will be viewed with skepticism and lack of trust. Noto should look at delinking brain death from transplantation, due recognition to the donor family, and we all heard that one donor can save 7 to 9 lives. And of course, as we're doing today, we must pledge our organs for donation after death and let our next of kin know our wishes. Thank you very much for having me here. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable inputs and suggestions. Now, may I request Dr. Manish Jain for his treasured experience in organ donation?
Thank you, friends, for patient hearing. And already it has been discussed. Thank you. So basically, organs can be donated by the living and the non-living. Already discussed, living is the 18 years of above who can give the consent, medically sound, and related donors. Non-living cadaveric donors already Madam and Sir have discussed. So donors should discuss that. This is also already has been discussed. So just a few lines about kidney transplant. So when a healthy kidney is taken from one person and surgically placed into someone who has got a kidney failure, one myth is there that when we do a kidney transplant, we have to remove the native kidneys. No, we don't remove the native kidneys until unless it's a specific condition. So this is the third kidney which is getting into the patient. So advantages of successful kidney transplant or whatever, freedom from dialysis, physically active lifestyle, few dietary restrictions, return to the work or school, cardiovascular benefits, socioeconomic benefits. You calculate the cost of dialysis for 2 years and calculate the cost of the transplant. So definitely transplant is going to help you and quality of life. So donor selection, O is a universal donor and AB is a universal recipient. So O can donate to any blood donor. RH group, like in pregnancy or sometimes you see positive or negative, doesn't make any difference. Positive or negative. Age 18 to 70 years. Ideally non-diabetic donors. Hypertension mild, hypertensive with no target organ damage and tissue matching should be there. GFR cutoff level we take is a 80 and the donor should not have any systemic illness or any active infection going on. It should be free fit for surgery and the mortality what we take 3 in 10,000 can have. That's a very like if you see all the routine things less. Long-term effects of kidney donation, mild protein can be there in the urine and mild hypertension. अच्छी तरह simple life जियो तो बहुत अच्छा रहेगा कुछ भी नहीं होगा. So importance of blood group, O can be universal donor. Recipient A can receive kidneys from A or O, B from B or O, AB can receive from anyone. Though nowadays we are doing ABO incompatible also, depending on the titers, any kidney can go to any group. Preemptive transplant एक word है जिसके अंदर before starting we go for a transplant directly. Swap already madam has discussed. So it happens between A and B. Suppose a donor is there with a A blood group and his recipient is B and the other pair is there who has got a reverse way. So they will donate to each other. So just a one line about our transplant. We have done all the transplants. So this is like 2 years back, last 10 years, 2,500 transplants, and we have done all the transplant, robotic, open, ABO incompatible, HLA incompatible, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and HIV. So, but this slide was there like maximum donors live related in India. What we are seeing, 2/3, 75% are the females. चाहे wife होगी, माँ होगी या sister होगी. Husbands हैं? नहीं. वाइफ को अगर हुआ है तो दूसरी बीवी ले आएंगे पर वो डोनेट नहीं करेंगे. नो वी हैव सीन मेनी टाइम्स दे लीव द वाइफ. So kidney transplant most cost effective modality. They have a longer life, better quality of life. Preemptive transplant gives best results and superior to the diseased kidney donors. So most common cause of transplant loss is death due to the functional transplant, either because of the heart disease, infections, or the malignancies. And immunosuppressions are definitely essential to prevent the immunological loss, but that balance has to be done. So this was for the awareness. We organized a walkathon. So I am there and my full team from Vedanta. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. Let our organs function even when you're not there. Let them give life to someone who needs them desperately. It is time for the pledge, requesting everyone to please stand up and place their right hand on the left side of the chest. Requesting Dr. Rajesh from Noto team to kindly narrate the pledge. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Now, मेरे साथ सब pledge करेंगे इसमें. Okay. I pledge to donate such of my organs and tissues as could be used after my death to give new lease of life to those in need. Due the shortage of organ and tissue for transplantation in our country, I also pledge that I will make all efforts to inspire my family, friends, and fellow citizens to donate organs and tissues after death. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. With this, may I request Dr. Sandeep Mitra to give word of thanks to our guest. Over to you, sir.
It is truly a very, very delightful event for all of us in Mankind family. Dear guest and distinguished dignitaries, Dr. Subhash Gupta, Dr. Sandeep Guleria, Dr. Manish Jain, Dr. Pradhan, and all the dignitaries that it's indeed a great pleasure, honor, and the privilege for all of us in Mankind. As all of us know that Mankind's philosophy goes with the serving life. And towards that philosophy, one more value additions which we could make, what extra we can do without having this pledging for the organ donations. It's a great moment for all of us on the occasions of the World Organ Donations Camp and the programs and the awareness. Thank you, Noto, for taking these initiatives towards that. And thank you, sir, for taking out your valuable time out of your busy schedule. We know we are they just left the surgeries in between and just take out the time and came out and make this event a grand success. Thank you so much. With this, we call for these meetings and the green day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.